USS Constitution has got 4 boats. 2 of them are the whale boats, then there's a gig which hangs from the stern, and another one that is on the main hatch. To make these, the kit provides these laser cut pieces that stack on top of each other, but they have to be glued. And what I did here is only one of these at a time. There's a total of 4 for the whale boats, the 2 whale boats. And the tabs at the end are important because that provides the alignment for each of those pieces on top of each other. So I used this little wooden block to make sure that they are indexed properly. That I only do one at a time, so after the glue is in place, I put a wooden block on top of that, and then a heavy weight, which happens to be a 3-pound lead brick that is left over from my scuba diving days. So while that one is done, I start the second one the same way, and again making sure that the pieces are stacked on top of each other. This is the second one for that, and then another block and lead weight. After about 20 minutes or so, I take the weight off, but the adhesive is not really fully cured, so I have to make sure that I wait a little longer before I then start cleaning up the outside. And for that, I use the Ryobi disc sander that really works very, very quickly, and you have to be very careful that you don't take too big a bite. On the left, that little switch, incidentally, is my dust collection system for that vacuum system. After I do this very carefully again on the outside of the hull, then I have to do the rest. Not on this disc sander because too much, and wow, forget it. For that I have the this little mouse, which is made by Black & Decker, and it's a very handy little thing that you can hold in your hand. I use it for sanding the deck and the hull for the conning, and for this it works out well also for this. But it, again, not quite 100%, so you still have to do some hand sanding, first with some coarse, and then later on I do the same thing with some fine. Notice, of course, that before you attach the keel on the bottom and the front and the stern, all of this sanding has to be taking place. And so the keel comes later on. But here you can see the not quite finished, but at least better than the one in the center, and the other one that is still only stacked together. To do the inside, however, becomes very tricky. Very labor intensive. I use these diamond coated bits that I have here, and they don't do a quick job, but you have to be very careful. Here is only partly, the one on the bottom, partly done, and the one on top, I'm actually not doing the inside. I'm going to cover it with a canvas canopy. This is the one that will be against the wall, so to speak, on the boat. So I made this little insert, and then made a template out of paper to see how that might work out. You're going to notice these 2 tabs that hold the canvas canopy in place with some lines later on. I made another one after that first try. I made a little stiffer paper. And this will be then the template that I'm going to use to cut out the, quote, canvas. For this I use a very lightweight fabric. It's a cotton fabric, and I outline, in this case I outlined 2 of them, but then also outlined it with a line, which I glued in place with some white glue. Here you can see it, but then also, while I'm at it, I want to make sure that there are these 2 holes in the bow and stern where there will be an eyelet to hold the line that holds the boat up in the davits. And there will be some cut-out sections back there. But at the bottom there is a little eyelet, because that's where the line that goes underneath the boat will be attached to hold the whole thing in place. So So after that is done, I start painting the canvas color. I mixed some yellow and brown and a lot of white to get this color that I kind of thought was okay for this. So I paint the top side, including the lines and a little bit on the outside of it, and then I flip it over and do the same thing on the back side. So there's a lot of paint that is added to this whole thing. And then it's a matter of letting it dry and cut out the pattern afterwards. And I make sure that when I do this, that it is right next to that little line, that it becomes the edge of the part. And so I go all the way around, and then I had to try it out on the little boat. And so far it looks pretty good, but on the bottom, of course, I still need to add the keel, and the ends are still kind of a question as to how I'm going to do it. But this is part one, and we will continue later on.